I'm gonna show you how I MC a wedding because aside from actually DJing, talking on the mic can be just as important. Now, I'm not a pro MC by any means. I actually kind of hate talking on the mic. So if you're like me and you just want to keep it simple, I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it from start to finish. So I'm gonna show you a clip of how I introduced the couple into the room at a wedding I did a couple weeks ago. And then we'll break it down piece by piece. Roll the footage.
Well, good evening, friends and family. Welcome to Trickle Creek Ranch, but more importantly, welcome to Cooper and Courtney's wedding reception. Now, tonight is sure to be one of the best weddings that you have ever been to, because every single person in this room tonight was handpicked to be here to celebrate with Cooper and Courtney. You guys ready to celebrate with them? All right, before we bring them out here, let's make some noise for our wedding party, starting with the bridesmaids! And now let's give it up for our groomsmen. And now, friends and family, let's give it up for the reason that we are here tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Parks. And now, friends and family, it's time for Cooper and Courtney to share their first dance as husband and wife. One more time, friends and family, let's make some noise for Cooper and Courtney.
Now notice I didn't do or say anything crazy or talk for hours and hours. I just grab the guest's attention, get to the point, bring the people in, and immediately move into the first dance. Now there's a few things that I do before I even jump on the mic and start the introductions. First, I make sure that I have all the songs that I need in a crate and ready to go, and all the cue points are set, and that's super important. Because you don't want to play like a 16-bar drum loop or some random DJ edit with Little John when you're trying to hype people up and bring the wedding party in. So I just set a cue point at the best part of the song, usually at the chorus, and that's really it. Now, I always bring a DJ assistant with me to help me set up the gear, but also to help run the music when I'm on the mic. You don't have to have a DJ assistant to do a good job emceeing, but it definitely helps. So if you do have a DJ assistant, make sure you guys are on the same page. Go over all the songs that you're gonna use and make sure they know which cue points to hit and when. Once we're all good on music, I also go over to all the people involved at the wedding and make sure that we're all on the same page too. I'll go to the wedding planner and the photographer and tell them exactly what we're about to do so there's no surprises. Because the last thing you want to do is piss off the photographer and start the first dance when they're not even in the room or their camera's not set up. And I'll also go out and talk to the wedding party too and try and hype them up a little bit because they are the VIPs of the wedding. If they come into the room with zero energy, the guests aren't gonna care. Clearly the bridesmaids listen to me on this, the groomsmen, not so much. And the very last person I talk to before I jump on the mic is the person who's opening the doors for the wedding party. Now listen to this for a second because this is very important and I have had this happen to me so many times. You need to talk to this person and make sure they know exactly when to open the doors and let people in. Because at any moment, that person can ruin the entire flow of the introductions. Like imagine you start the introductions like this.
Welcome to Trickle Creek Ranch, but more importantly, welcome to Cooper and Courtney's wedding reception.
And then right there, the doors open, the couple walks out, and at that moment, my eyes are not on the door, they're on the guests. So I might still be talking and hyping the crowd up, and all of a sudden the couple is standing right behind me. It's just a situation that you don't want to deal with. So I always talk to the person who's in charge of opening the doors, and I tell them exactly what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna say and exactly what their cue is. Because people cheering does not mean it's time to start. All right, so once everything's set, it's time to start emceeing. But here's a mistake I see a lot of DJs make. They jump straight into introducing the couple, and half the guests don't even realize what's going on. You've got to grab their attention first before anything happens. And that's why it's important to say a few things on the mic before you actually bring them into the room. It gets their attention, it hypes them up, and it feels more like an actual moment is about to happen. So I usually start out by saying this.
Well, good evening, friends and family. Welcome to Trickle Creek Ranch, but more importantly, welcome to Cooper and Courtney's wedding reception.
And then they cheer because you said something exciting. It gets people to stop what they're doing and listen to what you have to say and kind of figure out what's going on. If you can get people to cheer during your introductions, that is a great sign. It means that you're engaging and you have their full attention. And if they're super hyped before the couple even walks into the room, you know it's gonna be a great party. Now at this wedding, the crowd was a little more reserved. They had a ton of older guests, so they didn't really get that hype during the introductions, which is fine. Every crowd's different, but another mistake I see a lot of DJs making is that they basically beg people to get excited. Like they'll see the crowd give a mediocre reaction and be like, "Oh, I know you could do better than that. What are you doing, bro?" Like, if they don't get as hype as you want them to, just move on. But there's no need to guilt trip them into cheering. That's just cringe as hell. Anyways, after that entire part of me trying to hype the crowd up, it's time to introduce the people into the room. Most of the time, it's just the wedding party and the couple, but sometimes they'll also have you introduce other people, like the parents of the bride and the groom. That's not super common in my market, but it does happen from time to time. For this wedding, they wanted to introduce the bridesmaids as a group and then the groomsmen, which I love because calling out every single name just takes forever. And let's be honest, most of the guests don't even care who bridesmaid number 3 is. So I usually do it like this.
I'll be here to celebrate with Cooper and Courtney. You guys ready to celebrate with them? All right, before we bring them out here, let's make some noise for our wedding party, starting with the bridesmaids.
So when I introduce the bridesmaids, I point in the direction that they're coming from, and this helps the guests follow along instead of looking around the room confused. When the bridesmaids come in, they do this little cabaret dance or something like that, so I just let the song ride until they're finished dancing and head to their seats. The groomsmen, however, they went straight to their seats. They didn't do any dances or nothing, so I faded that song out pretty fast. And now it's time to introduce the bride and the groom.
And now, friends and family, let's give it up for the reason that we are here tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Parks! And now, friends and family, it's time for Cooper and Courtney to share their first dance as husband and wife.
So we brought the music down and I jump back on the mic and introduce the bride and groom into the room. And sometimes they'll come in and do like a little twirl or a dip or something. But this wedding, they just went straight to the dance floor to start their first dance. So just faded the music down quick once again and just got it started. Now, like I said before, communication is key, not only for the couple, but also for the other vendors. If the couple wants their first dance to be 45 seconds long, that's cool, let them, but make sure the photographer knows that so that they can get all the shots that they need. Most of my couples have their first dance around 1.5 minutes or so, but sometimes they want it shorter when they're literally on the dance floor because it feels kind of weird having 200 people stare at you, and 1 minute can sometimes feel like an hour. So I always tell them during our final planning meeting that if they ever want to cut it short, all they have to do is look back at me, smile, and nod, just like this, and I know it's time to end the dance. That way, if they feel like the dance is feeling longer than expected, they've got a clean way to end it without making it awkward or doing like the kill sign in the middle of the dance floor. And that's exactly what this bride did. So once it's time to end the dance, I slowly fade the music out and have the guests cheer for the couple. And this gives a natural break point and keeps the energy up in the room, and also gives me a second to get ready for the next thing, which in this case was the blessing. So right after they're finished cheering, I introduce the officiant to give the blessing.
And now, before we serve our meal tonight, Danny's going to say a quick blessing for us this evening.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father.
Now, if you've got a second wireless microphone, I usually hand it over to the person giving the blessing before introductions even start. That way, when you say their name and introduce them, they're ready to go, they pull the mic up, and they could just start talking right away. Once the officiant was done with the blessing, it was time to serve dinner and let the guests know what's going on. This wedding was a buffet, so I said this.
All right, guys, we have a great meal in store for you. Now, we don't have enough space for everyone to make their way through the buffet line at the same time, so please hang out at your tables. We'll be coming around to send you guys through the line in just a couple of minutes. So all you got to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening.
Now, doing this is important because it prevents all 100 people from getting up at the same time and causing chaos at the buffet line. And planners prefer this because then they can release the wedding party, the parents of the bride and groom first, and then everyone else later. Now, if it's plated, it's a lot easier on you. I usually say something like this. Our waitstaff will be coming around to serve you your meal, so all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening. And regardless of how the meal is served, I usually end my dinner announcement by having the guests cheer for the couple one last time.
So all you got to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening. And one more time, let's give it up for the reason that we are here tonight, Cooper and Courtney.
Again, it gives a natural break in the moment and gives me a chance to fade in the dinner music without any awkward silence or anything like that. And that's how I handle introductions. I don't do anything crazy. I keep things super simple and to the point. And at the end of the day, that's what most couples want. Because the wedding isn't about you, it's about them. And that's pretty much how I MC a wedding. If you like this video, make sure to watch this one on how to make your DJ booth look more professional for under 200 bucks. Or this one on why DJs need to focus on social media. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.